Welcome back to the news at 10. In what appears to be a hostile move to escape incarceration, some inmates at the Kaduna Correctional Center have attempted a jailbreak for fear of being infected with COVID-19. The prisoners reportedly attacked prison security officials with harmful objects, leaving 10 of the staff injured. The Comptroller of Corrections at the facility, Sanusi Dan Musa, told Channels Television that during a skirmish, the inmates demanded for their release in order not to contract COVID-19. Meanwhile, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 today said modalities are being worked out to decongest correctional centers to avoid the transmission of the pandemic in the nation's correctional centers. Now, how is it going around the world? In other places, they continue to battle with the coronavirus outbreak. The Johns Hopkins University says the U.S. now has more than 200,000 confirmed cases, the highest number in the world, followed by Italy, which has over 100,000 cases. Meanwhile, Spain today recorded the highest one-day death toll of 864, as deaths across Europe exceed 30,000.
Spain has recorded another 864 deaths related to coronavirus, the highest in one day, as the total number of deaths across Europe goes beyond 30,000. More than 9,000 people have died in Spain, which is second only to Italy in fatalities caused by the virus. Confirmed cases in the country have passed 100,000, but numbers show the infection rate continues to fall. Meanwhile, United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres says the coronavirus pandemic is the most challenging crisis since World War II.
The combination of the two facts and the risk that it contributes to enhanced instability, enhanced unrest, and enhanced conflict are things that make us believe that this is indeed the most challenging crisis we have faced since the Second World War.
The UK says the number of patients who have died has risen by 563 since Tuesday to 2,352. The government says 29,474 people had tested positive for the coronavirus, up 4,324 since Tuesday. Meanwhile, the All England club confirms that the Wimbledon has been cancelled for the first time since World War II because of the coronavirus pandemic.
2, 1.
On a lighter note, you can always count on a superhero when times are hard. This British Spider-Man runs the streets of Stockport to cheer children in the coronavirus lockdown. The superhero is doing his bit to make sure that they're entertained while they're indoors. The two buddies working separately have been visiting streets around Stockport, waving to children and putting smiles on their faces.
Alex, can you just twist that back towards me a little bit more? Straight.
Let's take a look at some business news now, and here's Anne Wilden.
Thank you, Ijoma. Good evening and welcome to Business News. A total of 15 billion naira has been generated so far by the private sector coalition against COVID-19, and that's according to a statement from the central bank. A breakdown of the relief funds showed that a total of 37 donors, including the CBN, banks, individuals and other corporate bodies, donated various sums into an account domiciled with a financial market regulator. Meanwhile, the central bank has commended the coalition of individuals and corporate bodies while asking for more support to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo says the federal government is packaging and repackaging more resources for a comprehensive economic response to alleviate the challenges caused by the COVID-19 pandemic on the populace. At the second meeting of a special committee on the National Economic Council on COVID-19, the Vice President assured the governors that the newly created Economic Sustainability Program and the committee will be meeting this week to start its work and respond to the situation appropriately. In attendance were the governors of Ekiti, Kaduna, Nasarawa, Jigawa, Edo, Ebonyi, Ogun and Kebbi states, the finance minister and the director general of the budget office, among other top government officials. And let's head to the stock market now to find out how it fared at the close of business. Well, sales are still very down today, and it's a new month and a new quarter, as we know, but the downturn on the equities market is still continuing, with the all-share index already down at the new 8-year low at the close of trade today. To find out the figures, let's hear more from Temple Ashadru.
The tail spinning in the equity market continued today, but with a bit of respite from MTN Nigeria, which moderated midday declines from a high of 2.28% to 0.94%. Industrial heavyweights Dangote Cement exerted some pressure on the market after shedding almost 10% in value, leading to the largest loss that we saw in the sectoral performances. Now, given the CRR refunds to banks by Central Bank yesterday, the lenders remain the most active securities, with Zenith Bank in the lead, contributing the most to the total 154 million units traded at an estimated value of 1.78 billion naira in 3,415 deals. Unilever dragged the most out of some 26 other decliners, while the news of MTN South Africa keeping to an IPO promise in Nigeria renewed investors' confidence in the stocks ahead of 5 other gainers in the markets. And that's the stock market report. I'm Temple Ashadru.
And that's Business News Tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Nwawado. The rest of the news at 10 continues now with Ijoma. Good evening.
Thanks a lot, Anne. One of Nigeria's leading integrated food business and agro-allied groups, Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC, is donating essential food products to alleviate the challenges faced by Nigerians in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak and the impact of the lockdown to curb the spread. The Managing Director, Foods Division of Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC, says the initiative will cut across the affected states.
Trucks loaded with food items to support the Lagos state government in dealing with the effect of the COVID-19 lockdown in Lagos, courtesy of Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC. Officials of Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC hand over the relief items to the state government with a pledge to help feed the nation at a crucial time like this.
Our task, as one of those whose mantra has been to try and feed the nation, is to try and contribute a little bit the little bit that we can to trying to assist that Lagos State team.
Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC believes it is the best time to work together with the government and play a role in alleviating the suffering of Lagos residents.
At FMN, we commend the efforts of government, both at the federal and the state level, to stop the spread of this virus. And at FM Golden Penny Flour Mills, we are going to play our full part in defeating the virus, but importantly, in conjunction with government. And we will do that in 3 main ways. First of all, our great people and our great partners will come together in spite of all of the challenges, but with the full support of the authorities to continue to make our products that the nation loves, be it the noodles, the pasta, the flour, the semo, every day, so we can continue to feed the nation.
The gesture is one that the Lagos state government appreciates, as it rightly fits into the government strategy.
102,000 households to be fed in conjunction with the Lagos state government is a huge task, and we are very happy. And it's also important to, let me use this opportunity to let Lagosians know that as of today, 12 local governments out of the big 20 they now have food.
The management of Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC says this is the first phase of the initiative, as 6 more trucks containing stimulus package and medical kits will be supplied to the state soon to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic.
And over in Edo State, the Nigeria Petroleum Development Company has donated medical protective equipment worth 20 million naira to the state government as part of its contribution to fight against the coronavirus. The manager, Community Relations Department, said the company will extend the support to other host communities.
At the end of March 2020, confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus in Nigeria stood at 139, with Edo State accounting for 2 of the total figure. The federal government and the state governments have been receiving support from different groups to help contain the spread of the virus. One of such donations is about to take place at the Edo State Government House. The Nigeria Petroleum Development Company, NPDC, has brought medical personal protective equipment, including hand gloves, face masks, eye goggles, sanitizers, and laboratory coats.
This is a corporate social responsibility that NPDC management thought it wise to make available to the Edo State government in its effort to curb the spread of COVID-19. As directed by my MD, this is the first phase of our intervention in this journey to ensure that the spread of COVID-19 is eliminated in this state and the nation at large.
The Edo State government believes the best option in dealing with the virus is through social distancing.
This is not the period to live normal life. This is the period that all those communal attitudes that we already have as a country and as a tradition that deal and relate communally has to stop.
For the donors, this is an initial intervention effort with more to follow.
We are still going to do more, but the first point of contact will be the doctors, the nurses that are taking care of people so that they are well kitted so that the infection of COVID-19 does not get onto them.
We have other arrangements for our communities where NPDC is operating, and we intend to do jingles, and we intend to provide posters to advise and guide people on how to wash their hands and all other things that are associated with the prevention of COVID-19 spread.
The Nigeria Petroleum Development Company, NPDC, a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, says it remains committed to the well-being of its host communities, over 200 of them, across 6 states where it operates.